All right. What's happening? Just got back from a little stroll with the boy. Something about, winding down at the end of the day with a nice little walk. Seeing the sun go down. It's soothing, Been a while since I've had an opportunity to sit and chat to the camera. And figure I'd update you guys on what I'm doing. Last couple weeks have been very, very busy with competitions. I was at a show 2 weeks ago now, the CPA Coburg Naturals in Vaughan edition. And you guys, if you're watching these videos regularly, you've seen show day footage of that. It was a good event. It was a good time. Shout out to the CPA. Shout out to John, who runs the event. Everybody involved. It was good. Good experience for myself, for my clients, and all in all, a very, very good time. So that was, when was that? April 29th. Then April 30th, we had a client down in Pittsburgh at the OCB Battle of the Berg. McKenna was her name. First time bikini athlete who did very well. So that was a doubleheader 2 weeks ago. And then this past weekend was the UFE Revolution, which I had two clients in. Emily, first time bikini competitor, and then Calvin, who competed in the CPA event the week prior. And then we kind of just decided on a whim that we were going to jump into the UFE event. And that was a wise move. He did very well. He competed in classic physique and men's physique. And then I was like, you know what, man? I'll bring you a pair of trunks. Let's jump on the bodybuilding stage and see how it goes. And he did well with that, competing in the classic physique and winning his UFE pro card within classic physique, and then in men's physique, winning the pro card in that as well. And then in bodybuilding, he was against a monster up there. I do not remember his name, but pretty big guy. Really impressive physique. And, Calvin, obviously a bit smaller scale compared to him, and just got outsized. But for his first time up there within bodybuilding, he did really, really well. But anyways, let's chat about the title, thumbnail, probably why you clicked this video, me entering a powerlifting meet. You're probably like, what the hell, Leroy? Thought you were a bodybuilder, and I am. But, I am now 1 year post-show. My last show in 2022 was the end of April. And, here we are a little over a year after. And, I'm at a point in the off season where I'm, obviously fully recovered from prep. All the prep things have long surpassed. I feel good in the gym. I'm strong in the gym. And, I've been toying with the idea of competing in powerlifting again. I did a full meet in 2018. So between my 2017 and 2019 bodybuilding seasons. And I really liked it. It was nice having obviously something to work on in the gym, something to work towards, but also something a little bit different. There's obviously some crossover between bodybuilding and powerlifting from like a, strength and muscle growth perspective. But when you're training for powerlifting, it's you've got exact metrics that you're working with as far as weight on the bar. Bodybuilding, not so much, right? It's not as clear cut when it comes to like progressing. So in the off season, sometimes having that tangible metric to work towards, something to progress with, is nice to have, and that can keep people motivated. It's not very uncommon for competitors, especially within the natural stream, to take a crack at powerlifting during the off season, especially if you have an extended time away from stage like myself. I'm a year into the off season with projected 2, maybe more years left to go. So, why not? Why not see what happens? So I was speaking with a buddy of mine a couple weeks ago at work, and he was like, maybe take a crack at it, right? And I was like, all right, what's the schedule like? So with bodybuilding, I have the schedule, especially locally, pretty much imprinted in my brain as to when the shows are. With powerlifting, not so much. So we were talking, and he was like, there's an event in, I think at the time it was about 14 weeks. So I was like, okay, that's a good timeline to get ready for. And, I could probably jump into like a 12-week program for that, which would work out well. Training wise, I've been, doing heavy compounds for the last little while. So, to jump into a powerlifting specific program to peak for a meet is obviously not completely out of the realm of what I was doing. So it worked out that wasn't a possibility because I have competition with clients that weekend. I've got a good chunk. My camera cut. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, before my camera so rudely interrupted, I have a good chunk of clients competing on the weekend of that event. So that was not an option. So off to Google I go. Now with powerlifting, just like bodybuilding, there's multiple federations. So I pulled up schedules from all over the place and started sifting through to see what was an option. And 6 weeks, 6 weeks was an option. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go. So June 10th, WPC Nationals in Kitchener, Ontario. We're taking a crack at it. Myself and my client, Jeff, I proposed it to him and I was like, hey man, you want to do this? Have a good time? Try something different, something to work towards? He's like, yep, let's do it. So here we are. I started the program officially last week. So I'm a week into the program and I'm just going to start overlaying clips, training clips of what I've been doing. But so I found a program by Candido, a very well-renowned powerlifting competitor, coach, all that good stuff. And it's 6 weeks to PQ for the meet. And I'm following that religiously. So my bodybuilding training has taken a bit of a what's the word? Kind of set aside. I'm tapering. I'm sprinkling it in where I can. So today, for example, I had to do bench press, and then I had to do barbell rows, overhead press, lat pull down, and then it gives you like 2 optional exercises at the end. So I've just been doing like arm supersets on like upper body days. So I did a single arm press down and a dumbbell curl, and then I did JM presses and cable curls. All right, so arms are still getting some love. On the other day that I do like upper body, I do some lateral delts as well and a little bit of arms too. And then on legs, obviously, those days I'm squatting and deadlifting in some form or another. And then I usually do some hamstring and quad isolation and maybe lunges, for example. And that usually does it for me. And things are going well. But at the very beginning, I like slightly tweaked my lower back. And I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, which is super annoying because like when I kind of set my mind to something, I'm pretty gung-ho about it. And I like announced it to everybody. I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I announced it on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And people were all excited to follow along. And then here I am going tweaking my back like the second day. So I was like 5 or 6 out of 10 sometimes in pain. So not unbearable, but definitely not nothing. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go week 1. We'll see how it goes. And thankfully now, knock on wood, it's gone. So I think I just like pulled it weird, doing something. And here we are. We're now feeling pretty good. So at the start of the program, so it's all broken down. It's pretty sweet. So just like I give my clients like spreadsheets with all their workouts in, this is the same. So I found it online and you punch in your estimated 1RMs for squat, bench press, deadlift. And then the whole program is basically worked out for you for the entire 6 weeks, except for the stuff that you can put in as optional exercises, like I mentioned earlier. So today, for example, with bench press, I had to do 230 for a set of 10, 250 for a set of 8, and then 260 for a set of 6 to 8. So that's just an example, but it gives you exact numbers to follow. Not yet yesterday, no, 2 days ago, I had to do squats, and it was 380 for as many as I could. And then it give you like ranges. So it said, if you did 8 to 10 reps, then you had to do this afterwards. If you did only, 6 to 7 reps, this afterwards and whatever. End up getting 12, which is probably a good sign that I've kind of estimated my reps, maybe on my 1 rep max on the lower side of things, which is good because then by the time meet day comes, I should be able to hit some good numbers. As far as targets for myself, for the meet, I'd really love to. I don't know exact numbers of what I did in 2018. I think it was like a 307 bench. It's in kilos, right? So when you convert it, the numbers are weird. So I think it was like a 307 bench. I think it was like a 514 deadlift or something like that, and maybe like a 420 squat, maybe somewhere around those numbers. So obviously, I'd like to beat those. but I'm not also numb to the fact that I haven't been, training necessarily for powerlifting for a long time. So no, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna beat those numbers. The deadlift, I'm hesitant because I haven't deadlifted for powerlifting in quite some time, where you have to like full pause, over under grip, so no straps, nothing like that. But the bench press and the squat, I'm well on track of beating, which is obviously good. I'd like to say I'm stronger than 5 years ago. So yeah, what else can I talk about? Oh, weight classes. So with powerlifting, there's weight classes. Obviously, I want to be competitive, even though I'm very new to powerlifting, newish. I still want to go in there and try to do well, obviously. So the weight class I'm in right now, so when I started the meet prep, I was 188 pounds. That puts me in a weight class that goes up to 198. So obviously 10 more pounds could make a big difference in strength level, especially if that's 10 pounds of muscle. And then also potentially people cutting down from, maybe the early 200s to get into that lighter weight class. Like there could be some big guys up there. So I was back and forth if I wanted to do this, but I've committed to scooting down to the weight class below me, which if I remember correctly is 181.5. So basically like 7 or 8 pounds to get off, which in 6 weeks is nothing. And I weighed myself this morning and I was 185.9. So in a week, since I started this, basically like 2 pounds is already gone. So with 5 weeks left, and even if I have to do a little bit of like water manipulation to make weight on the Friday before the event on the Saturday, it shouldn't be an issue, because by then it should only be a pound or so, which like, if you go sit in a sauna for like 40 minutes, like you can sweat out a pound or two pretty easily. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I feel good. Like I said, back is cooperating now, which is nice. Everything else feels good. I feel strong, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to try it out, see what happens. And I don't know what comes after it. Like if you qualify for something after, I'm not familiar with kind of the powerlifting structure and the qualifications and the tier system with all that kind of stuff. But officially registered today, so it's game on. I had to go dig out my old singlet, which I had to go searching for. I should try it on. Hopefully it still fits. But whatever. It'll be all right. I've competed on stage wearing much less. But anyways, so yeah, update for you guys. Powerlifting meet prep. It's a go. It's game on. June 10th. Like 31, 32 days. But I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I'll probably do another video like this in a week or two, and then maybe another one beforehand, and then obviously I'm gonna vlog with Jeff and I at the meet, and yeah, should be a good time. I think we're gonna go up the Friday, get a hotel overnight, just so it's super convenient, and then compete on the following day on the Saturday. So yeah, I'll vlog that, and then yeah, as far as bodybuilding goes, this coming weekend, no competitions. Next weekend, the Stephanie Worsfold Classic. I have Mike in, classic physique competitor. So it's his first show. Super excited about that. Man looks good. Man's getting shredded. Very, very excited. He's a week and a half now away from his competitive debut. That'll close out May. And then June, we've got some stuff lined up. July, stuff lined up. No slowing down. All right, I'm rambling now. Appreciate you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys.